And with us tonight is Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs, and we're going to chat about the opening America up again. Andy, thanks for being with us tonight.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Andy, tell us a little bit about the president's plan here, efforts to reopen America. We're hearing it here in New Mexico. I'm sure you're hearing it in Arizona. Folks are getting a little bit restless right now.
They are getting restless, and justifiably so. We've seen everything from constitutional rights being abrogated to our economy being decimated. And so the president put this task force together. It's a bipartisan and bicameral task force. And what's happening is we've been having conference calls. We've been also submitting ideas on how to get this open. But for me, the bottom line is we got to get open as soon as we possibly can, and I think we can get it open like yesterday.
And especially in parts of the country that hasn't been affected by this, the peak is behind them. Do you think we'll see more regionally states start to open up, or do you think it would be kind of the state-by-state model that's kind of out there?
I think it's going to be on a state-by-state method, because I think the president, and I support this totally, he wants to make sure that the states keep their sovereignty, governors can maintain their ability to govern with the legislatures in those states. But I think you're going to see the feds try to give some guidelines, just some CDC support guidelines. But the states have to make that determination, and I'm a big believer in this. Ultimately, it's the people who need to take it to their leaders and say, look, we're ready. We want to open. Let us open.
Yeah, and we mentioned the restlessness that's out there in parts of the country. Are you at all worried or concerned about some states start to open up, and as the next few weeks start to happen, then we have other states that are closed off still? Are you concerned about the people becoming too restless in some of those states that aren't rolling back some of these measures?
I don't get too concerned about let's say Arizona opens and California isn't ready to go. Mm-hmm. You know what? That's part of the states and their job, and I mean they're the laboratory of democracy. And the reality is, if you like a brand pre-COVID, if you like the brand of socialist, heavy regulations and taxes, California was your place. Mm-hmm. If you didn't like that, you'd be going to a place like Arizona, which has fewer taxes, fewer regulations. And I think the same is going to be here. You're going to see different states. I mean, Colorado, for Pete's sake, they've got a very liberal governor, and Jerry Polis, and he's going to open up. He's already said he's going to open up and get this thing going here in like 3 short phases. And I think, okay, he can do it. Our state can do it. Other states can do this, and that's a great idea.
Yeah, Representative Andy Biggs, Arizona, with us, also chair of the Freedom Caucus. And today, you guys in the House passed the $484 billion relief package to rescue small business. Tell me a little bit about this and how it is going to help businesses across the country.
So where I think it's going to help businesses is these businesses that are in the pipeline where the money didn't come last time. Mm-hmm. And so where they ran out. So you got 250 plus 60. So you got 310 for that. Where I think that there's going to be some issues and some problems, and I'll just give you 2 quick ones, is they give $12 billion to jurisdictions with the authorization to conduct surveillance and contact tracing, and they failed to define that. And what that means is, if you fail to define it, maybe you're going to see some big tech companies come together and basically be spying on Americans and then hand it over to government. This becomes a problem, and in conjunction with this bill today, Department of Health and Human Services announced basically a relaxing of HIPAA or patient privacy rights. So these things concern me on the one side. On the other side, maybe some positive effect there. But is the two concerns that I have coming out today.
Yeah, one thing that's concerned me is the fact that state governments, even city governments, using GPS data to find where people are and in large groups, and then shutting businesses down whenever those large groups were found by that kind of data. And that to me, that looks like an infringement of your civil liberty and something that is not going to get rolled back when this pandemic is behind us. This is things that government agencies will continue to use and have been using.
Yeah, that's exactly what my concerns were. I was one of just a few that voted no, and I raised that in the debate. I raised it prior to the debate. I offered an amendment. They wouldn't even let us offer amendments. But I think it's really problematic, and what you said is 100% correct. As we see encroachment on our constitutional rights, the question is, will they be rolled back if there's some normalcy that returns?
Yeah.
And that's always the question. And you've watched it, I'm sure, and I have. It's really hard to bring these rights back sometimes when they've been encroached upon by government, regardless of the level, city, county, state, or federal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with this relief package, like you said, $310 billion for the Paycheck Protection Program. Are you confident that this is going to be enough, or will this run out again very fast?
I think so. This is another interesting problem. This is one of those things where death by 100 cuts. I mean, they've already told us that the real number should have been 600 billion plus, is what they think. So
for the second round, or total for
this round should that after this round they might need another 300 to 400 billion. So my question is, well, why didn't you just do it in one lump? Then when you're getting bought and you're being leveraged by Nancy Pelosi, think about that.
Yeah,
you're getting leveraged by Nancy Pelosi, you only get one leverage point. Now, if you're coming in 4, 5, 7 days later, you say, look, we're going to need some more money. Guess what she's going to do?
Yeah,
she's going to leverage up, which is exactly what she did this time. It makes it really tough,
Mm-hmm.
You've got a massive deficit. You've got needs in the country, and some people are playing some real strict political games on this.
Yeah, one of the things that's coming in the future, and this, is states and local governments also wanting their handout. What do you see on the horizon for that?
Yeah, that's a rough one, because you've got states that were a fiscal mess before COVID-19 ever came around. You've got states that have killed their own economy by overreaching government action, and then they're going to say, we want the federal government to bail it out. And they're talking. The number I heard today was pushing over $500 billion, and maybe even getting closer to $1 trillion. Now, here's the problem with that. You've got everything from some of these jurisdictions wanting to get a bailout on their pension plans that were underfunded.
Yeah.
They want to be covered for their services that they're not able to go now because they're broke, because their own economic policies have put them into a real bad position for tax revenue. So these are the things that people are going to say that no. I mean, the administration has kind of sent some different signals, but I think their position is no, we can't do it. We can't do it because you've engaged in some bad principles, and so you're going to have to reap the consequences.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see in the future, over the next few months, states that held on to not reopening as soon as maybe they could have, and how broken those states are, and how much money they're going to now want from the federal government because of it. Yeah,
that's right, and I have a feeling it's going to be a big number that they're going to be asking for, and so we have to you really have to watch that. And right now, the feel within the conference, the Republican side anyway, is that we can't get there. We cannot get there and bail everybody out.
Is the next round of funding going to be the HEROES bill, as they've talked about?
that you never know. It could be. We haven't seen anything more than, I mean, they were so focused on this that we haven't seen specifics, although I anticipate we should start seeing specifics soon. And what I would tell you is that a lot of the folks that I'm working with, we're trying to come up with good tax policy, good regulatory policy that will actually provide a tremendous amount of economic stimulus and stability, both short term and long term. That's because we want to make sure the foundation of the economy is solid as we come out of this.
Also, last question, Andy. Do you think we'll have another round of stimulus for Americans?
You mean like the economic impact statement?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't. As I'm sitting here right now, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know. I don't think so. At least there was not an appetite to do it earlier this week when I was talking to colleagues.
Yeah.
So impossible to see in that crystal ball, but I don't believe so.
Representative Andy Biggs, Arizona, chairman of the Freedom Caucus, thanks for being with us, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. It was good being with you.